Guys, it's the after show. It's good to see you all here. Let me know if my microphone is good. Just want to make sure that it's good before I talk to you guys a lot. You should deserve the best quality, everything that I can offer. I just wanted to make sure that we're all good. They say it's not good. You guys sure it's not good? Echoes. Well, that's not good. All right, I'll be right back. Can you guys hold it down until I'm right back?
How do I sound now? Does it sound any better? Tyler's leaving. Have a good night, Tyler. Can't do anything to keep you here. Puking in a toilet bowl. Geez, Kara, that's a little bit rough. Don't you think that's a bit rough? I think that's a bit rough. All right. All right. Glad that worked out. So, how are you guys? We missed you last week. Drew and I had a live show that was actually a lot of fun. We kind of did it in our old style. But we accidentally got on. We were just going to have like a laid back night because, like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but Drew was a little bit stressed out. We're just going to have a laid back night. And somehow we ended up kind of getting into the meat of it, all the bad stuff. And it just kind of turned into a whole deal. But we had a live show, went for about an hour and a half. I thought it was a good time. So what do we got in the chats? Who's here tonight? I didn't see my sister. We got Amy, our USDA butter inspector. She missed the whole show. She was here earlier, now not here. David's now here. Felony Melanie's here, of course. She's required to be here. April. She's worth 10 people. The show will start just for her. So we got a new graphic there that I can't see at all. It's so small and so far away. All right. 10 people are here tonight. Salamander's here. Chase is here. Don't see Abby for some reason, though. Abby always makes a big deal. Tyler was here. Marine's blood here. Sorry about my bad mic. I don't know what causes that. I have no idea. You're using your internal mic, Marine's blood says. You know, I do set it so that it's my proper mic. I even set it so on StreamYard you can like test it and it tests good. All I do, Marine's blood, is I leave and come back again. I don't change any setting. So I'm not using it. I'm gonna force you guys to listen to my my computer mic. I'm actually thinking about getting a new computer soon. Maybe that'll help. Laptop shopping not easy. I found a decent one on Walmart.com. But then I'm trying to compare it, to all these ones on Amazon to the point where I have a spreadsheet, right? Like, what processor do I want? How much of a hard drive do I want? Dedicated graphics, solid state drive. And then there's so many different things, that I want and need in a new computer. Because like the one I'm using, I didn't even get this one to podcast with, and it's 4 years old. I didn't even really get it to edit video with. And I actually was making a podcast last Friday, and all of a sudden a warning came up on the screen saying like, the fan doesn't work anymore. So you need to take this to an authorized Smith Tech dealer to get it repaired. So I'm sure this thing will be overheating soon. All right. Tyler's still here. Okay. All right. Pre-show was better so far. Well. Oh, it's a bee. Okay. I do hate those bees. I haven't really seen any this year. I've been having to deal with about every other kind of insect. I put out a bunch of stuff to kill all the grasshoppers, and now like all the crickets have taken over. So it's always something. I need to just use fire or something. Ben's here. It's good to see you, Ben. Kara, should we tell him? Tell him what? I don't know. Tyler's here saying, "Oh, Canada." Will Cray says Costco has good deals on laptops too. They have good deals on crappy laptops, Will. They don't have high-end computers that can help you with producing media. They have good computers that can help your child do 4th grade. So that's not what I'll be doing. I'll need a nice one. I'm looking to spend about $1,300 to $1,500 or build one. Yeah. The Asus TUF Dash F1 F15 is pretty good. I was looking at something like that. Yeah. Not many chats tonight. Natural predators work better. Well, nothing was preying on the grasshoppers except me. I'm their natural predator. So I had to deal with them. Oh, so unless there's a lot of chats tonight, I'm not going to have a whole lot to talk about. Need a computer that's at least does 7th grade. You're making a really good point, Amy. I think I'm underestimating media anymore. Actually, I knew someone once upon a time that was a very young person, and she got into YouTube when YouTube was still very young. And now she has like a degree in like media production. Media just, I think her degree is actually in social media. That's not a joke. We're no longer associated, which is why I don't talk to her about doing anything. But anyway, how do you feel about my daughter wanting to be your nemesis? I don't feel good about it. I found out about that. Your daughter wanting to be a fireman fighter with the firefighter thing, as if I didn't know. I would say that I'm going to go out on a limb here, a rather precarious limb, if I may. It's entirely possible that your daughter is lacking in appropriate role models. I mean, if they're going to turn to that, I mean, they just, I would sit the child down with love and respect and kindness and say, like, are you aware of any other professions? Have you heard, where you sure you don't want to be like a tow truck driver? You know, when I was her age, I wanted to be a garbage man, and I don't even think that's a bad profession. So I think you mentioned to me actually that it was as a result of watching Paw Patrol. So the dangerous propaganda that you're showing your child. Case in point, I think they made a Paw Patrol movie, and Chase was entirely edited out. Chase being the dog, not the firefighter. Ironically, you see what's going on here. All right. Thank you for asking a good question, April. Now 2/5 of my children are against you. What's the other one? What's the other child of yours? I think you told me everything they're all going to be for Halloween. What's the other one that's against me? I can't see that one coming. I'm a little worried now. I don't know why I have my headphones on. I'm not listening to anything. I really do want to know what the other kid's up to, because that worries me. So since when do we have to start the after show with our own content? You don't have to, Salamander. You can just sit there and enjoy other people's content. I object to your question. The after show is completely driven by you. That's the whole point of the after show. It's not so that I can get on here and talk to you guys about what I want to talk about. That's what Monday is for. I do that on Monday. On Monday, I have a show. On Monday morning, I get up and I talk about what I want to talk about. Thursday nights is for you guys. So when you say, since when do we have to start the after show with our own content? The answer is since always. Because ever since the very first after show, I started the show and I said, what do you guys want to talk about? And we have had shows where not many people wanted to talk about anything, and those shows ended prematurely. And I have said that if we do not have 10 people in the show, then I'm not even going to do the show, because the show is for you guys. And if you don't want to do the show, then you won't show up and I won't be here either. I'll just be outside sipping whiskey out on the porch. So there again, always. Our chats are always responding to your points, John. Then we go off on tangents while you get behind. Yeah, it's a good show. I love the show. Thanks for reminding me why I do it. I would mostly agree with that, John. About firefighters, thank you. I'm glad somebody's here with me. Thank you, Will. It needs to be a better ratio, April. I don't know what that means. 2/5 of your children are geniuses. Amy or April? Do those two like Drew? Somebody was saying earlier this week that they hated Drew. Oh, no, that was last Thursday. Winter called in and said she hated Drew. My son who thinks you aren't a good podcaster. Oh, right. Your idiot son. No, I'm just kidding. I remember him thinking it was cool that you knew somebody that had a YouTube channel. And then when he found out I wasn't playing Fortnite, let him down. So it was somewhat disappointing to him. Here's the thing, is I have figured out how to hook up my video games to StreamYard. So I'm completely capable of doing that. I don't know what YouTube will think of that. I see a lot of people playing video games on YouTube. There's actually a channel that I follow where they do nothing but play a video game from like 1996, and I watch that all the time because it's just strangely soothing. It's very good for my anxiety. So I don't know if they'll let me live stream it, but if you guys want to see like how good I am at Mario 3 or something, I mean, I mentioned that on the show tonight. Leave a 1 in the chat if you want to watch me play Mario 3. I haven't played it really since I was a kid, but that's something that you could actually stand to watch. Let me know. I could try to do commentary the whole time. Drew, come get your fucking son. Oh man. Does it Drew, do you miss the good old days back when our social media game was really on point? The problem is that I swung for the fences with that very first one. No, this is my show now, Drew. Shut up now. They're woke policies. I don't care about that. Shut up, Drew. Oh, that was so good. I tried to kind of recapture that energy in another one, but it wasn't as good. So I quit forever because there was another one that did that was good. That was the one where I was doing the game show one, and I was like showing like, hey, we're having a game show come up. There's gonna be prizes. This is well thought out. And then at the very end, if Dead Leg wins, there will be no prizes. I actually said that on an episode of Illegal Shift that aired earlier today that 2 people watched, and one of which was me. I said, if he wins, there will be no prizes. That's my Dead Leg quote. Sillimander, I get distracted by the butter. We aren't great role models, but we have the most fun, so there's that. Chase, are you watching Illegal Shift? I'm not here to plug other shows, but I have pivoted that show towards firefighting. We've been talking about firefighting on that show just because it gives Kiefer a reason to come alive. Amy says to Sillimander, I was going to say don't have kids, so my future children will have to be nemesis of John. Why are people producing young to be my nemesis? Don't you guys realize I'm 40? Like, the cold, slow hand of time is my nemesis. No one has to do anything. Not only that, but I have had several nemesis. If you guys want to hear stories of my nemesis, put a 2 in the chats for stories of my nemesis tonight, because I have a few. In fact, there was one show where I wanted to tell the story of the ham sandwich in my nemesis, and I never told it. So tonight, if you want to hear the story of my nemesis and the ham sandwich, put a 2 in the chats. Shots fired. You bet your ass. Ooh, but I don't know why. I just know to feel bad. John and Drew are my favorite Com Center hosts. Who else has hosted Com Center? I suppose the last episode of Com Center when it was on the network was actually hosted by me and Daniel. That was weird because Drew showed up like 20 minutes in. I didn't know if he was going to be on the show or not, and then he just kind of came in. So it's the Com Center Drew Breezy hosted by me and Daniel. There was an episode that I did with Eric once when Drew was on a cruise, and so he swore off vacations for all time. So he'll never be going on vacation again, even though that was a good episode. Carly was on that episode with me. So Carly's kind of co-hosted before. So yeah, we've had like 5 hosts of Com Center. It's kind of like the Tonight Show back in the day when they had like Joan Rivers occasionally co-hosting. Guys, who if you guys wanted to see someone else like be a semi-regular co-host, like someone who would fill in for me or Drew if one of us was sick or on vacation, who would that be? Put their name in the chats. Don't say Abby because she's not here. Sillimander says I don't have kids either, except for the stolen one. Ooh, I can make him hate John if I need to. Las Mujeres says RDR2. I'm Iron Man. I'll join. You can stream games on YouTube. Will says that is allowed. Okay, cool. I could do that. Maybe I'll do that just to try it out. There's really no reason not to. And if you guys didn't like it, well, I'd have to make it members only so it didn't fuck up the algorithm. Is the thing. So maybe I could do that on a Monday morning. It's John's morning show. John just plays Mario 3. Why not? What do I owe anybody? I don't owe anyone dispatcher news. I don't owe anyone like little pithy commentary. I can just play video games. I can do whatever I want. Amy says, my future children will love Grandpa Drew and hate Uncle John. What is the deal? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done to provoke anyone's ire? You guys hate me because I'm the second banana around here, or what is it? Chase says the butter cow that is made of butter that is 18 years old this year. Chase, someone sent me an article today. I believe it was Silamander said something about how the butter cow at the Iowa State Fair is not made of butter. So an investigation is open. Game show was fun. Yes, Felony, you you said that Nicole Brown Simpson. You said the voice of her was O.J. Simpson. So that was funny. I watched Lego Shift while you were alive. Thank you, Will. Thank you, too. So you guys want to hear the story of my nemesis tonight? A bunch of you do. I'll make a point to watch Illegal Shift now because the Down the Pole was my jam. Yeah, they don't work very hard to entertain you like I do. April says, I am your nemesis in training, working on my John journal. Deep reference there. Let me see if I can find a picture of him because I did draw him. This, to the surprise of no one, I actually drew my nemesis. It's here somewhere. I know what the file name is because it's his actual name. Should be easy to find. I'll locate that on my hard drive. Oh, it's not here somehow. I'll find that. And then I'll be sad if I deleted it. There it is. Is that a TIFF? I'll have to open that. I'll take off the color layer. And then I'll save this as a PNG so I can overlay it so you guys can see it. So I'll explain this person briefly. When I was at the state pen, I had a nemesis, and we will call him Officer K. I have told stories of Officer K on my podcast, Hard Time, but I have never told this story. So even if you're a subscriber to Hard Time, you're not getting screwed. This is a brand new, never before told story of me being a nemesis to a guy. So let me pull up this picture. For some reason, I still don't see it. It's because I'm not saving in the right place. You know, I'm only trying to run a show here and also compute things. All right, you merge all those layers down into a single layer. That'll be fine, computer. And then I'll try pulling that up one more time. There it is. Okay, I've got that picture for when I'm ready to show it. Well, let's go back to the commentary because I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on any comments. Okay, you guys throwing random numbers up there just to confuse me. I like it. You guys are talking. I'll co-host with you, John. I think the person who needs to co-host the show has got to be a cop or a dispatcher. Because why else would I be here? Because I can draw? Well, that's kind of how I got the job, and it doesn't make any sense. So we can do better in the future. So we love Carly. Yeah. Is Carly here? Or is she with the Gear Goons right now? Is she a member or is she not a member? So I have a stolen Graham again with the Gen Z talk. Don't know what it means. They were a lot worse. They were a lot worse podcasts though. What were? Oh, yours? I don't want to hear you. I need negative self-talk from you tonight, Will. Difficult to look at pictures would be a great host for when you're gone. Okay, that guy. Gotcha. Mario 3. Yeah, bring that difficult to look at picture. Okay, all right. You know, about this, I stand correct much longer. That has always been the title of my Instagram handle. I had more than one. I stand correct, and then I had difficult to look at pictures, which I created only to interact with you guys because I didn't want you guys to, because I didn't know any of you, and I didn't feel comfortable like giving out my personal stuff to you guys. So I'm like, well, I'll just create a handle, and that way you guys can have that. But now, it doesn't matter because so many of you guys reach out and talk to me, and it's all fine. So I'm just giving you a more authentic version of me. This still bothers me. I don't like it. Wheel of Courage. Okay. Bring back that thing. RDR2 is a Red Dead Redemption 2. I have heard of Red Dead Redemption, but I think that came out when I was already in college and I never played it. So to clarify, I have a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, and a Nintendo Switch and a Wii, and I have a PlayStation 2 that doesn't work. And I have a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance, but I probably couldn't hook those up, just so you know. Unless I get a Retron 5. If I get a Retron 5, then I would be able to do it. You were saucy and arrogant about our job on the after show. We were giving you the business. What job? Salamander's job? You work at Rite Aid. I've never been saucy about that. It isn't tack butter. I've tasted it myself. I like how you're going to argue with the USDA butter inspector about whether or not that's good butter. I have no federal whistleblower info on the Iowa State butter investigation is still on. Amy, you get to the bottom of that, please. I think that's Drew bowing out, just in case you guys wondered. It is late there. It's almost 9:45. Back when John was doing Hard Time. Something I was thinking about before I went live tonight. I used to do this show, Comm Center. I would come home from work. I would jump on the air. We usually had some pre-made assets. We made the show. It was a little rough. The show was over. And then Elijah downloaded the audio from StreamYard and posted it on Saturday. That's how the show got made. And I went to bed when the show was over. Now I'm getting up on Tuesday. I record the show. I edit the show if it needs to be edited before it goes out on Thursdays for members only. That's kind of the raw version. Before Thursday, I also have to take everything, like all the assets, 2 separate audio recordings that aren't from StreamYard, mix those together, mix those with other assets, produce an audio podcast. And now there's a third version that is like a distilled version that comes out on the following Tuesday. So every episode of Comm Center is now 3 episodes of highly produced content. Hard Time used to be this thing where I sat down on Google Meet and I would just record me and Jake with this Rodecaster, and we just did it as we could. And now it's twice a week. I'm doing Illegal Shift. True Crime, very likely to come back in the form of Cool and Unusual. I have to quit something. I get up on Fridays and I spend 3 hours making Hard Time for the following week. Sometimes I have to edit that. Sometimes I don't. Usually do. It's not Jake's fault, but his kids are there, and it's like I try to reduce that in the mix. So that's 3 hours right there. Then I'm having to spend last Friday I spent 10 hours till very late in the morning, early in the morning, 3 in the morning, working on that. I'm not complaining. But I can't keep it up. I just can't. Dewey's back. So some of these responsibilities can go back to Dewey. As far as comm center production, but I can't keep doing all of these shows forever. And I like doing hard time, but I have not been a correctional officer for almost 10 years. So I want that show to continue, but a change is going to have to come at some point, meaning I hand it off to somebody or something. Not taking it away from Jake, of course, because he puts in a lot of work on it too. And I also produce every show that's made over at Failure to Stop. And I run that YouTube, and I'm working on extra stuff over there right now too. And I'm not tired and I'm not worn out. I can sustain high levels of work for long periods of time, but I cannot sustain them indefinitely. Rest of the year, I've got a lot of vacation coming up. I'm taking about 20 days off between September 8th and the end of the year. So I'm going to have a lot of more free time to do things with podcasts. But in 2025, something's got to change. So just be ready for that and give me all your hate now, because when I have to start letting people down, it's going to suck because I don't like letting people down. I like that all of you guys care about the stuff that I produce. I like that you guys like listening to Hard Time. You guys subscribe and you pay for that and you pay for this show. You know, to the point where I want to like start up true crime and make sure that you guys get that for free no matter what. Yeah, but I'm going to burn myself out. And if I don't slow down, I'll have to stop. And I don't want to stop. So I have to start putting more eggs into one basket. And I think you guys realize that's probably going to be Comm Center because that's my long-term plans that I've made with Drew. I'm actually under contract with Comm Center. So got to find a way to keep those things moving forward. And it's not going to be easy because I don't want to let people down, but I have taken on a lot without thinking about how I'm not good at telling people no. I'm not someone who says, I just don't want to do that. I'm someone that I say yes to things. I like saying yes to things. Some people call it a form of low-grade anxiety that I'm a people pleaser. It's not actually about people pleasing because I don't do that in general. Anyone who's ever talked to me at work knows that I'm not a people pleaser. But I care about everything that I do, and I can't do anything that I do less than 100%. I think Kiefer would tell you that I put in a lot of effort and energy too, because every week, if you watch that show, and I know almost none of you do, but that show's got a lot of graphics on it. The graphics that you see on the screen here, I mean, I came up with these pretty quickly, but every week, Kiefer and I have a fresh set of graphics that's all based off of whatever it is that we're talking about. And we put in a lot of work in the stories, and that's one of the easier shows that I do. But I mean, like, that's just an example of how I do everything as much as I possibly can, because that show doesn't have to have graphics. But I make the graphics because I want that show to be good. I made the graphics for this right now on the screen because I want this to be good. Just because it's somewhat funny. I don't know. I don't even know if you guys find it funny. I find it funny. When I was cooking my ramen, I had this idea that I would have these graphics on it, and then it would be funny. So I do everything as much as I can, but you know, when we get to January, I will have been doing this full bore for 2 years. So I don't know. We'll see. Just be ready for changes coming up next year of some kind. And like I said, pile on the hate now because I'm doing everything that I can, but I know I won't be able to sustain it forever. And I have to set some kind of goal or something about when I'm going to start self-care or something. That's what they call it. All right, no more talk about me. The show is for you, Salamander. Amy, we'll get to the bottom of the butter investigation about the Iowa State Fair. Felony says I play a cop on TV. It counts. On Blue Bloods? Will, your negative self-talk is never true. Not the Instagram name gaslighting. Well, what does it matter? Do all of you guys follow me on Instagram? Amy, I don't know that you do. Salamander does. Will does. Felony does. I think Chase does, but I'm not positive. I don't know that Tyler does. Lasmo Harris does not. So not all of you guys are here for that. So we go because we like you, you goon. You can quit dispatch tomorrow and we'd expect you here, just like hard time is still relevant. I wonder what I would do about Comm Center if I was not a dispatcher anymore. I think I would start feeling like a charlatan pretty quick, speaking for a people that I'm not of anymore. I don't know. Switches are very fun. Yeah, Will, I like playing my Nintendo Switch. I don't have enough games on there yet, though. Mario Kart, mostly. Oh, I got the Ninja Turtles collection, so I play that a lot. Yes, you're all my friends, damn it. Salamander, how many times do I have to reaffirm you? Amy says maybe not gaslighting, just the Mandela effect. Mengele effect. It's named after Joseph Mengele, not Nelson Mandela. That's a common misconception. We really are grateful that you started podcasting. Your shows are great. Thank you. That's nice of you to say. Did I? No, I don't. I work at BJ's. I thought you worked at Rite Aid. I thought you said that job was going away in September. It's August 22 by my count. And I don't know what BJ is or BJ's. And it sounds like something I could make fun of, but I won't. Oh, the Salamander was regarding where we're compiling a group of nemesis. Because I was making fun of your jobs? Yeah. See, this is inappropriate. No, it isn't. I do have proof. I've personally been in a cooler with a cow, and butter itself can't support its own weight, so it has a 2x4 base. So you've been eating the base, Chase? Judd, I'm going to send you a DM on Instagram with proof that you've been interacting with me. Did you send me a reel today and I finally got sick of it and sent you back a reel of what I find funny? Because I finally did that. There's somebody who's been sending me lots of reels that I haven't been answering. Because I don't think this person really knows my sense of humor. So finally I sent them one of the most bizarre reels that I've ever seen to let them know, like, this is what I need to be seeing from you. I wasn't talking about the show Hard Time. I was referring to say when I was in the state pen, you were doing Hard Time. Yeah, I got you. Weddings are expensive, though. Yeah, getting married to Kendra again. We're doing it on the cheap, though. Just at the beach. It's going to be weird because she doesn't like the ocean and I don't like taking my socks off. So I'm going to be wearing full sneakers and socks. And then I'm going to get in the water because I love the ocean. And then she will not get in the ocean. And I will be trying not to look at her feet because even though her feet are totally normal, I don't like feet. So I will not be looking at them. We like hearing Jake's kids. Here's the thing. Not everyone does. And if you're trying to break into an open market of people that aren't just hanging around from Failure to Stop or Comm Center, like if you wanted to break into a whole new world of people that are out there, they need to not hear that. And it's nothing against Jake's kids. He's doing the best he can. In fact, he's made like a bunker for himself in his closet. He's doing everything he can. But it doesn't sound professional. I think Drew talked about that earlier, that that I try hard on the audio for Comm Center to make it sound professional. Jake and Carly could do Hard Time. It would be up to those two. I wouldn't decide. If they wanted to, they could. Because this sounds like really terribly conceited, but Hard Time would just be my gift to them. If they thought that that was something that they wanted to use as a platform, if they wanted the assets, if they wanted the money, whatever little money comes out of that, or I would just give them the keys. And whether that's a gift or not, I guess I don't know. But I mean, I would just turn it over and I would listen. Amy says, don't worry, you can have Iowa State Fair covered for me. That looks like Abraham Lincoln. That's why I like the show. We have discussed this multiple times. I look like Rutherford B. Hayes. Let me get the Rutherford picture. I think she's trolling me, though, earlier because I said that I didn't like Abraham Lincoln. I'm like one of the few that is bold enough to say that I'm not a Lincoln fan. I mean, yeah, I like Lincoln, but I mean, he made the presidency something other than what it was supposed to be. He made it too strong. The president all of a sudden just started doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing, like suspending habeas corpus. Not a fan of that. Let me see. Now, okay, so now I have that picture, but now it's not in a format that I can show, I bet, just because of the way StreamYard is. Thank you for bearing with me as I do various things tonight. There it is. As you said, I was Lincoln-esque in my picture. This is what Rutherford B. Hayes looks like. I think you'll argue that that's quite a bit closer to what I look like. Hi, Christy. Which Christy is this? Is that my sister? I can't tell. Anyway. Back to the show. Everyone's grateful for stuff. BJ's, Jake, Carly. Okay. John, I hear your voice every day. I appreciate you, but you deserve some relief. Well, the thing is like I'm still making a lot of shows. I'm asking to make fewer shows, but not none shows. My case in point, Felony, what I was trying to say was that Comm Center used to be like this really easy thing to do, and it used to be once a week, and now it's turned into, and I'm not complaining, a massive production of essentially 3 different shows: a Thursday version for YouTube, a Thursday version for Spotify, and a Tuesday version for YouTube. And it's a lot. Help's coming though. Dewey's returning to work, so I mean, help's on the way. All right, I'll let you guys work on that. All right, do what's best for you, John. Thank you. It's nice to have some people supporting me. I like that. If I had time, I would offer to take on some of the producing off of it for you. That's kind, but you know why I would never do that? Because there's a lot of people that do things for free for people, in my experience in podcasting. And I don't like that. I think if people work, they deserve to be paid. There's a tremendous community, particularly, in the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of the whole original Failure to Stop thing. There's a lot of good people around here. But podcasting is just a lot of work. It just is. And when you pass that off to other people, it's inherently exploitative. So I like the idea of having someone help me, but I could never have them do it for free. Case in point, Dewey, is not taking home a regular salary yet at this point. He's sort of vested in the future. We're all sort of betting on ourselves that someday this is going to pay off. And so he's, he's under contract at Comm Center like I am, essentially as a stakeholder in ourselves. So we're vested in that sense. We're under contract. We agree to that. But starting things for free and doing them for free is kind of how you eventually get to where I am. and I don't resent it. It's just it's a lot of work. Wait, ramen? I thought you were keto low carb. That's true. Until last week when someone started talking about ramen, and then I had some ramen. And I am keto low carb for the most part, but I have taken a break a little bit from it. I'm going on vacation soon anyway, but I have gained a little weight, and I've been looking at pictures of myself since the pictures of me before I was podcasting. Guys, I was a little bit crazy. I used to go to the gym for like 2 hours every single day, and if I did not go to the gym because I had a tremendous back injury or whatever, if I didn't go to the gym, I felt like a pile of shit. I would feel depressed, and I was at the gym for 2 hours a day every day before I would go to work. And to be honest, I kind of miss that. And so if you look at pictures of me from 2022, 2021, I'm kind of like looking great. And now I look not so good. So yeah, I kind of need to stop eating ramen, that's for sure. No one is going to hate on you, John. So long as we get you on one show, we'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be here. Christy says she hates on me. I'm trying to see what what context is that. Again, when people just put comments in there and I don't know what they're in reference to, I have no idea. I absolutely do follow you on Instagram. Have you ever sent me a message before, Amy? Do you regret following me on Instagram? Is following me on Instagram worth it to you? Because do I put out enough content there? Should I put out more? Because when I'm bored, I'm on Instagram. So I mean, like, it's definitely no problem to do more there. I definitely do not follow on Instagram. I can't blow my cover here on YouTube, so that would be lame. All right. Keep your secrets. Jay says, Christy, John still hasn't given you a membership yet. I don't think this is my sister, guys. I don't recognize the picture. I believe my sister is a member. She purchased her own membership to support me. So I don't think that's her. I think that's someone I don't know. Yeah, see. Oh, this is Christy from Australia, guys. This is a whole other Christy. Crikey. Christy, I've missed you. Where have you been on my Instagram? Like, you used to be in there every single day. Is it just because you miss me and Kendra teaming up? Because I promise that will come back eventually. So that's Christy from Down Under. If you don't mind my terrible little thing there. Okay. All right. So just be clear, everyone, that is not my sister. BJ's is a restaurant. Okay. I don't often get to be in the lives. I subscribe to Hard Time, though. Thank you for doing that, Christy. I don't have Instagram. Okay. I know, Marine's blood. All right. So sick of hearing your anti-discrimination stuff. Good. I'm glad you're here, Christy. It means a lot, actually, because like I don't even know what time it is where you are. I just know that it's winter there. It's like we're trying to figure out what time it is, but what season is it? I'm just here from Flecka's, and I think I'm the only one of my kind. Yeah, we were hoping to draw a big crowd from Flecka's talks, and it was a pleasure to have him on our show. And it would be good to go back, I guess, because if it brought us one person, maybe we could get some more. You don't see any resemblance with Hayes. Well, Christy says, not your sister. I'm the one who annoys you about the magnet. Christy, I got good news for you. I have got a couple more magnets printed out, and they're in my truck. So any old time now that'll get into an envelope and go down to south of the equator. I have them. I just have not put them into an envelope for you. So slowly but surely. Blessed is the man too busy to count his burdens. They're blessings too. I mean, I created Hard Time. And Jake and I teamed up to do that, and it was fun and cool, and it still is. I was picked for no reason to do this show, and I still get to do it a year and a half later. That's a blessing. I got to meet a very, very wonderful person, Kendra, because Eric wanted to hand that show off to me. He's just like, go at it, go after it, man. You can have the show. You could do it with Kendra every week. And I have made like a wonderful lifelong friend. Drew, also a great friend of mine. If you didn't see earlier, he was saying just tons of nice things about me during the show. Drew, you don't have to handle the Tuesday version for YouTube. Dewey's back. Give it to Dewey. Give it to old Dubes. I'm already working on the Tuesday version, so by all means, don't worry about it. Like now, we're both going to have a Tuesday version. This literally happened with me and Dewey weeks ago, where it's like we both had a version for Tuesday. And it's just like, well, sure would have been good if we were communicating better on that. Lost My Hair says, I would help, but I would require firstborn, so you probably won't agree to that. Well, you know, I would have to get a firstborn, and I don't really know how to do that. I haven't gone in a week to the gym since I've been so busy. I'm mentally wrecked. You got to get back in there to get mentally unwrecked, Will. I'm not good at Instagram. Yeah, that's okay. No, I haven't sent you a DM. And yes, it's worth it because it's you. Oh, that's nice. I don't mean that at all sarcastically. It's very kind. But I don't go on it enough to see most content from people I follow. Okay, fair enough. John makes very good drawings on Instagram. Will, are we going to address the elephant in the room about you saying something about Donatello wearing Raphael's mask? Are we going to address that at all? Did you figure it out? I just wonder if you had. Because that was indeed Donatello, and he was not wearing Raphael's mask. So I just wonder if you figured that out. I have another drawing here. Let me see if I can find one that's a big enough size to show you guys. Sorry for all the waiting while I figure stuff out tonight. Sometimes I don't always know what I'm going to be talking about. And I haven't forgotten about my nemesis yet. But this is for Will. Will's a good friend of mine and a good fan, so we need to address things and not just let them slip away. So this is for Will, in reference to me simply just saying Jesus Will earlier this week, so he doesn't feel neglected. Will, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all wore red masks. The comic book by Eastman and Laird. The comic book was originally in black and white. Then they just started coloring in the masks, in which they all had red masks. So the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, before you were born, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo all wore red masks. And so some of the drawings that I put out on Instagram earlier this week were meant to pay homage to that. So that is why. Okay. So do what's best for you, John, Amy says. And then Rain's Blood's mad that we discriminate against people who don't have Instagram, which is not true. Last one, Harris wants my firstborn. Will's wrecked. Thank you. Christy from Australia. It's 12:05 p.m. Jeez. Can you guys imagine watching me late at night, but just slightly after noon? Ooh, this is like her when it's Monday morning at 11 a.m. where I am, what time is it where you are? I'm guessing it's like 2 in the morning where you are when I do the Monday show. Fleckus is great, but Com Center is better. Thank you. I'm going to go get on Instagram and spam all of your photos. I think I have tagged you in posts before. If I've missed it, then I apologize and I'm sorry. I'd love to see John or Drew do a man on the street. would be gold. I already know. You have to do a lot of that to get good material, because Fleckus and I'm sure other people come across a lot of smart, level-headed people that aren't very funny. So you have to kind of like invest a whole day into doing that and then edit it down to about 5 minutes of just the sheer stupidity, and that would be a lot of work. Wouldn't be impossible. It could be done. Drew says he secretly hates me. Is it because of the way that I'm portraying you tonight? Surprised nobody's commented on the words of his manifesto scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's very disconcerting down there. I'm probably going to do this show this way from now on, just so you guys know. Lost my hairs. John missed 5th grade sex ed class and how babies are made. I went to a Mennonite school, so they were not teaching sex to us in 5th grade. Yes, all the turtles wearing red masks, but that one was the only red one I saw. If you actually went to my, actually what's cool is if you actually go to my Instagram, Will, if you just go to the home page, it shows all 4 of them sort of arrayed out strategically. I carefully uploaded them. Actually, yeah, so if you look at it now, you'll see all 4 of them kind of clustered together. I'm sure you can't make heads or tails of that from here. But you can see all 4 of them together. In places they're supposed to be. Kiefer's asking me if I'm on the air. I don't know. So someone who's a fan of the show says, hey, I checked YouTube to see if Com Center was on, and it's not. Did something change? I'm off work for the next month, so I wanted to tune in. Hopefully he joins up, and if so, I will let him know what's going on, but he has missed, and it's not his fault, but he has missed some of the changes that have gone on around here. All right, back to this. I don't know how he gets the firstborn. I just need to feed it to Garak. Oh, you know, I'm kind of against the whole sacrificing of babies thing. I'm not that old. Ninja Turtles was cool back in the 80s, man. Noon was when coffee breaks comes on for me. I'm just MIA because I'm sleeping during working now overnight. It's kind of a bummer. I didn't even notice, John. I've been too busy to actually watch much. I don't remember what you didn't notice. I saw afterwards that the Turtles did the thing after. Okay. Hi, Abby. You're late, but welcome to the show. It's good to see you. So some of you asked earlier about my nemesis. And of course, it would be my pleasure to share that with you. So this is a picture of my nemesis. This is literally him at work. He's literally sitting in a chair inside the gym of the prison, sitting there inert, watching inmates do things. This is the worst example of a correctional officer. Officer K. Officer K was very unkind to me. Officer K was very entitled. He was slovenly. He's a slob. You can kind of tell that from this very, very accurate portrayal of him. Many times, he would be assigned duties, and then those duties would fall to me because he would not do them, like taking inmates to court. The officer in charge will say, well, we're not going to have our agency represented by this man, so they would send Officer Bates instead. I've told many stories of this man, but I will now tell you the ham sandwich story. So that man is my nemesis, and for very, very damn good reasons. Multiple reasons. In fact, I have many, many, many good stories about him, and I tell them so well. Really great stories. But this is the ham sandwich story. Once upon a time, it was a very, very cold and very, very windy day. Where I am, there's really no break from the wind. So the Rocky Mountains are there, and then the wind blows, and then it blows and blows for 100 miles, and there's not one fucking thing on the earth between me and those mountains, and so it just blows. And certain states to the east, Minnesota, suck. So between the west blowing and Minnesota sucking, the wind is just always blowing all the time. Very, very windy outside. That's all you need to know. Very cold, very cold. And this officer, if you cannot tell from this overt display of laziness, we are supposed to stand up well on duty. Just very lazy. So one day it's lunchtime. All the inmates are kind of in their cells from count. But we haven't released yet. We haven't gone to rec. We haven't gone to the visit room. We haven't the visits open yet. He's sitting in the visit room with Brenda, who I also dislike. Brenda, not a nice woman. Brenda, kind of catty. Brenda, sort of a preposterous voice, but that's the way God made her. So even though I'm his nemesis and he's mine, we have to work together a lot. In fact, he was like my partner a lot of the time, which is why so many of his duties fell to me. And one day it occurred to me, for the 1000th time, I hate this man. And I'm going to pursue my status as his nemesis, since he so ardently pursues his status as my nemesis. Like, we're going to do this, but it's not going to be in some sort of terrible way. Like, I'm not going to break his legs or punch him in the face or tell him off or any of these things. No. I was a bit of a prankster. I was not the only one that was pranking him, by the way, because not a lot of people respected this man. So one windy day, it is very windy, and it is around lunchtime, and all the inmates are in their cells. And I come inside through the sally port. You have to come in through one door. It slowly opens. It slowly closes. And the control room officer does 100 other things, and they're busy. Keys over here. The phone's ringing over here. Open that gate. Open that up again. And then you're opening up this other gate to get inside. Takes forever to get inside. Huge pain. As you can imagine, getting in and out of a prison, not even easy for people who are supposed to do it. But it's very windy, and I go into the visit room where Knas is, and I say, "Hey, Knas." Sorry, I just said his name. Oh well, I didn't say his first name, so it's still fine. Knas, your car alarm's going off. Oh, damn it. He says, "Oh, fucking damn it." And so I said, "Just give me your keys. I'll go shut it off. I have to go back out to the other visit room anyway." The other visit room was kind of outside and across the way. "Just throw me your keys. I'll go shut it off." This idiot gives me his keys. So now I have the keys to his car. So at the prison, we were required to feed all the inmates 2 hot meals every day and then a cold meal. And where I was working in the visit room for the minimum security guys, they have sack lunches for if the guys are leaving and they're going to be gone for a meal, if they're going to work, if they're just going to be out of the facility, they get to have that meal because we have to feed them. So they would take a sack lunch with them when they left. A sack lunch consists of a brown paper bag. Inside is a sandwich made with bread, most likely donated from the bakery, and ham, certainly donated from the meat packing plant, because this is like grade F ham. It's got like a slice of indestructible Kraft American cheese in there, just to call it a sandwich. It has a small baggie of Lay's potato chips crushed to a fine crumble. This is why one of my pet peeves is with people who have a problem with potato chips being sold to you in a bag puffed full of air. The only reason that you get to eat a chip that looks like a chip that's intact is because it was stored in a bag with puffed air. If you wanted to get a little sandwich baggie full of chips, they would all be crushed to bits, and you would have to eat chip powder. So I get so sick of all these memes like, how do these companies sell us potato chips when this bag is mostly empty? It's puffed full of air to protect your chips. But anyway, it also has like an apple, an orange, and a carton of milk in it. That's a sack lunch. So I take one of these sack lunches, and like I said, grade F meat, donated bread, and this indestructible government cheese on it, and I take the ham sandwich. Here's something you need to know about Canas's car. Canas's car is gross. Canas's car is full of garbage. Canas likes to go to McDonald's multiple times a day. His car's filled with fast food wrappers, just trash. He doesn't respect his vehicles. I'm not very cleanly myself. I've got my problems, but his vehicle would always be packed full of trash. In fact, that's the reason why he became my nemesis. Because one day he came to work and he spent time that he was on the clock cleaning out his car. He took all the trash out of his car, put it into a big bag, brought it into the visit room where I work, knowing damn well that at the end of the day that it is my job to take the trash out. We don't have inmate orderlies get rid of the trash from the visit room because contraband could go into the trash and then the inmates can get the contraband that way. So who takes out the trash? This guy. I do it, not inmates. He knows this. He hauls all the trash out of his car into the trash can, the big, 30-gallon trash can that's in the visit room. At the end of the day, I have to haul the trash from inside his car to the dumpster. I was furious about this because I do not have time for this. This is not my job. This bag is leaking. I'm dragging it across the compound, and there's like fluids coming out of it. And it's got all his greasy shit in it. So anyway, I've got keys to his car, and I've got one of these industrial ham sandwiches. And I put it under his car seat. And I lock the door, and I give him back his car keys, and I don't say a damn thing. This was in the middle of winter. It's very cold here. Months go by. It is now springtime. And now there's a very bad, funky smell inside of his car, and it is from the sandwich that I left under his front seat. And I played the long game on it because I deposited that thing probably the first week of March, and it probably wasn't until May or June that it really started to turn against him. And I don't know how long it was in there before he found it. But that's the story of me and the ham sandwich against my nemesis. And there were multiple incidents like that. And what can I say? I don't forget. And I do not forgive. You know what the worst part is? So I stopped being a correctional officer 10 years ago, 2015, almost 10 years ago. At my part-time job, the one that I had where I was working with adults with disabilities, he left the state penitentiary and went to work there. So I was still his coworker after he left for like 10 more years. So he was my coworker a very long time. He's not in my life now, but I got some PTSD from him being my nemesis for a long time. Now I've got a brand new nemesis, and I can't talk about that nemesis because that nemesis is at my current job. So I got Jesus, so I can't do a lot of things anymore. But anyway, all right. Gorak feeding babies to the thing. Will is just a baby. We could sacrifice him, perhaps. Abby's here. Hi, Abby. Silamander says, ugh. Christy says, I remember that story was the one with the suspenders. He's the same guy. Yeah, same guy. Where's Officer K now? We can handle that. Nobody puts John in the corner. Life put him in a corner. You don't have to worry about him. He is unloved. Don't worry about him. That's Wisconsin sucking. Oh, for God's sakes. Wisconsin got that cheese, though. Las Mujeres, if you had been a fan of the show, you would know that I have debunked the myth that Wisconsin has any cheese or even any dairy cows. I told the story of how I used to date a female truck driver. There are some of those. And she used to drive from California to Wisconsin, and she actually imported cheese to Wisconsin. She brought cheese from California to Wisconsin. So Wisconsin has no identity unto itself other than the Green Bay Packers and cheese, but they don't even make cheese anymore. It's kind of like how TVs aren't made in America. They're all made in Japan or China or whatever. Wisconsin's holding on to its past. It's holding on to a myth. And someday that's all going to erode out from underneath it, and everyone will know that Wisconsin does not have cheese anymore. Osmo Harris says, I'm Italian. We love cheese as much as the French do. Did you know that this country eats more cheese than both Italy and France combined? So if you are really into cheese, you should just identify as an American. Anyway, Marine's Blood says, hey, Abby, if you want to be a scam baiter on your show, or if you wanted a scam baiter, he was talking about that a little bit ago. I'll let you guys talk. If you don't move that bitch to the furthest parking spot, we got some talking to do. You know what? I would have gotten in trouble for that. I would have pushed it too far. Our parking lot was very steep. It was very steep. At some point before he left, he got handicap parking because he had irritable bowel syndrome. So if I had moved his car to the top of the lot, he absolutely would have told on me. He didn't know about the sandwich. By the time the sandwich got him, he probably didn't remember how the hell it could have ever gotten in there. So I played the long game. I mean, I could have done a lot of things with it. I could have dumped it in the river, I could have smashed it to bits. I could have just locked the keys in it. All of these would have been great. I did the right thing. All right, I'll let you guys talk. Oh my God. Why did you say this? Why are you activating him? Foxy, good to see you. Government cheese. Government cheese. I don't do this, but with a small trout in my buddy's air vent. Yeah. Similar. I didn't have access to a trout. Hey, Keith's here. Got my text finally. I've been to a dairy farm in Wisconsin, and it was delicious. You were in the Matrix. You were technically not in Wisconsin, or that was a long time ago. There's some explanation. But you're definitely here propagating their propaganda. So there you go. I just had some cheese. Very good. What a show. 100% American first, but American cheese is my least favorite. That's okay. You're allowed to like the various cheeses. Keith, you missed it. Drew resigned from CompCenter earlier tonight. So we will be looking for a new host. It's probably going to be me, but if you wanted to be the new second banana around here, the show could be about 911 dispatchers and firefighters. So just give me a call if you wanted to do that, because Drew has thrown in the towel earlier tonight. So yeah, tough night in the history of CompCenter. Why did he resign? He can't stand it. He hates being in the public eye. Yeah. So there you go. Some of you were here for that when he went live. So this is footage from it, actually. Playing right there earlier tonight. Him resigning. So it's kind of his whole thing. I've actually been playing footage now for an hour and 12 minutes. So being serious. Well, yeah. Did you watch earlier when he went live? If you follow the CompCenter. Shocking. Jonathan, he always lies. I always entertain you. He always entertains you. He always lies. That's pretty scurrilous, Abby. I could sue you for that, right? I could sue you for libel. He always lies. And just look at the word scrolling below. Yeah. It's the first 200 characters of his manifesto. It's all I could fit in there. It's upsetting. Yeah. What else? Keith, you need to play the show on the big screen. Slander. It's slander if it's spoken. In print, it's libel. So that's the difference. Phone calls. Anybody up for phone calls tonight? Because I caught up with all the chats, even though I told a story about Officer K. I could also just tell another one of those stories if you guys liked that story, because I do have multiple of them. Christy has heard the suspenders one before, but I could still tell the story if you wanted. It's up to you. That's okay. You said it, so that counts. Well, Abby wrote it, so that's why it's libel. I guess I'll open the lines. If anyone wants to call me, they could call me. And if they don't, I don't know what I will do. Drew has texted me. Yeah, so anyway. Yes, more stories. Okay. I never understood that song. More stories. Well, did I tell the story of the time he peed his pants at the hospital? I think I told that story. I told the story of the thing that happened in the rec yard. I don't know if I mentioned that any time that he was actually scheduled to do death row or ad seg or the hard unit, he would literally post the shift to have someone cover for him and pay them $100. Oh, we got a call. I just missed it from Abby. So we will put Abby on the phone.
Hello, John.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. What do you think of the show tonight? I've got a lot of production value. Like, it looks like the news, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, like, look at the screen.
I know. Why do you have this loop of Drew going?
It's not a loop. He's just still talking.
Okay, so I missed the whole middle. He didn't really resign.
He did, in a manner of speaking.
What does that mean?
Well, he re-signed. So he sort of like, recommitted himself to the effort. So he like re-signed on. So kind of re-signed.
Yeah.
Was that not satisfying, or?
No, you got a smart laugh out of me. Okay. Hi, John. I miss you.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
How was
you?
How was your show with Drew and Daniel that I couldn't be a part of?
Did you listen to it?
I haven't yet. I haven't had a chance.
So I mention you. I quote you.
Why?
I say because you had a great comment when you guys did the Sonia Massey breakdown, and I quoted you.
I bet Daniel eviscerated me, didn't he?
No.
I won't go toe-to-toe against that guy.
Dude.
It's enough being emasculated by Drew every week. I don't have to be beaten by both of them, Oh
my God. You do know that both of them adore you. I adore you. You are smart. As Drew said today about your Monday morning thing, he couldn't do that. You are talented, funny. I've always said this to you.
And gosh darn it, people like me. The point is that Daniel's a lot smarter than me, and
no, I disagree. Daniel's very smart, but you were very smart.
You guys had all the brain power you needed. You didn't need old John messing that show up. I'm just a humble 911 dispatcher and pizza delivery person.
Okay, so psychologically, you cannot accept compliments.
No.
Okay.
You know this. You know, I was not raised to believe that I was loved or special, and that I don't know how to
Right.
accept these things.
Okay.
Did you want my mom's phone number? You can like figure out.
Yeah.
You could get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
You're
So when
probably
I say
objective enough to actually figure that out.
Right. Well, do you somewhere in the recess of your mind say these people actually really do think I'm amazing?
I like to think about how amazing I am, but all the compliments come from me, and when I compliment myself, I believe it. Isn't it enough? Like I can't accept a compliment from anyone, so it's like irritatingly humble. But I'm also a bit of a braggart, so don't they kind of balance
Right.
out, where I have a healthy ego?
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go. Okay.
So here's what I miss. You used to text me like Shawshank is on TV, or you used to text me lyrics from what's it called? Sound of Music.
Oh yes.
Or like you don't text me anymore.
That's because you started getting mad at me.
No, you got mad at me.
No. you got like you.
Why did I get mad at you?
I have no idea. It probably had something to do with the podcast. I'd have no idea why.
So okay, can we go back?
But the thing is we already settled our beefs like months ago. You came on literally this show, the after show. We settled all our beefs. We agreed everything's fine.
I haven't had any charming text from you.
It's probably because I'm like crippled with depression and I'm not texting anybody.
Oh, why are you crippled with depression?
I don't know. Have you? I mean, you're alive. Haven't you gotten a load of it?
Yeah,
Get a load of this. You know, the unbearable weight of everything. Everything just keeps getting worse and worse until it ends in a catastrophe. I mean,
no. I'm having a hard time myself.
I'm sorry you're going through a hard time. I would never wish that upon you.
Well, I'm gonna cry now.
Don't cry.
Cheer me up.
Cheer up. Sweet God, this is not that kind of show. So you're under a bit of stress because you're moving back to the Empire State. New York, it's a hell of a town.
Thanks for telling everybody. We haven't told anyone.
Oh, sorry. Well, no one knows who you are, so it's still okay, right?
Yes. So here's the, well, I don't know if I'll get to see you, but I might get down to Tampa.
When will you do that?
I don't know, sometime.
Okay,
and then maybe you, Drew, and I could do a meetup.
I will be there. I will be there September. I will get there on the 10th, and then I leave. I get there the night of the 9th, and then I fly back from whence I came on September 11th. I got a deal to fly on September 11th. It's very cheap to fly.
You're gonna fly on September 11th?
Yeah.
Dude.
Is that okay?
It's asking for it.
Well, they already treat me like a member of Al Qaeda just because I got a beard. So.
So why are you flying down there? Just to meet Drew?
It's because my true crime podcast with Kendra ended, and were you a listener of that?
Yeah, I know. So you're going down there to see her?
I'm going down there to get remarried to her. Yeah, I have to, because the condition of our divorce was that we do the podcast, and we stopped doing the podcast. So we have to get remarried, or we'll be in violation of a court order.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you the questions.
You want to know the real reason I'm going down there?
I just want to. Well, I'm not going to say anything. Go ahead.
Okay, the real reason is I'm going on vacation.
Okay.
And if I go see Kendra and Drew, then it's for podcast purposes, and it becomes a tax write-off.
Okay.
Also, I've never been to Florida.
Okay.
Kendra's a dear friend. Drew's my buddy. So I've been begging Drew to have a business meeting for about 2 years, and he's just like, we don't need to have business meetings. So I'm going to kind of corner him on it when I'm down there, but that we need to have a business meeting. But we'll probably do it over lunch, so lunch is a write-off. But I want to swim I want to swim in the Atlantic Ocean again. I try to do that every year or every other year, and I want to swim in the Gulf Coast for the first time in my life.
Oh, great.
And under a full moon, I want to completely disrobe and walk out into the low tide as tide's going out. And I want the riptide to carry me away. And I won't even scream as I'm dragged beneath the waves. And some child will find my driver's license on the sand, and he will keep it for a time before he gives it to his parents, and they throw it away. The end. Too dark?
Yeah.
Oh,
It sounds
okay.
like a
Well, don't worry
story
about it.
time with John. Story time with John.
Yeah, that sounds like one of my many stories. Yes.
So there have been like a number of felons leaving hospitals. There have been. Oh, that's a hard time. Sorry, Drew's gonna get upset if we talk about it.
You can talk about whatever you want here. Drew already quit. What is he going to do? Fire me?
Okay. Are you gonna have me back on a hard time?
Yeah, I don't know why you're not on the show. I was literally talking to Jake about it on like Wednesday night, and he's just like, "Why don't we have Abby on anymore?" And I had told him that you ghosted me or something. I don't know.
Okay. Are any of your people still listening? Because I'm sure we're boring them to tears.
I don't care. There's still 10 people here, so
Who's here? Because I can't see.
Kiefer's here. Christy from Australia.
Keith.
Lasmo
Hey,
Harris.
Christy.
Marines blood.
Hi, Marines.
There's probably some people who are in the chats who are still watching.
Are they asking any questions we can answer?
Keith says he never cares.
John never cares, or Keith?
Yeah, I think he's saying that I don't care. I think he's gaslighting me because I literally got on this show earlier tonight and I was talking about how much I care about illegal shift.
Okay. I guess we're coming up on football season. This is going to be painful. Ugh.
Why is it going to be painful?
Because, is my buddy, what's my buddy's name? Baker Mayfield still with Tampa?
I think so. I think he signed a contract extension. Yeah.
Like 3 years. Okay. Do you want to talk about police stuff? Brian Tillman, the thing he just did about the cop that shot the guy holding the 4-year-old?
Can I be honest with you?
You don't remember? You don't like him?
I don't like police stuff. I think police are very boring.
Dude, thanks.
I kind of get tired of police stuff. I saved a whole bunch of people's lives on Wednesday and Tuesday night. The police got all the credit for it. The police were bossing me around, telling me what to do. They're like, "Hey, get a helicopter." And I'm like, "I already did that." And they're like, "Hey, have a trooper come." And I'm like, "I already did that." And they're like, "You should send an ambulance." And I'm like, I already did that. And so like, that's me in police, Abby.
So what were the incidents?
The first one was some people had overdosed, and the second one was a multiple vehicle injury accident where extrication was needed and stuff.
Okay, so tell me more.
Nobody wants to hear about stories from my real life. That makes it seem that's like self-aggrandizing though. So, but I just want to explain like why I have an anti-police sentiment, and it's not because I don't back the blue. It's just because I get tired of it. I see them every day. They're not a big deal to me. Do you want me to tell you a real life cop story from like the past week? I have one for you.
Sure. Absolutely.
So there was a dispatcher I worked with. He's a young guy. When he came to dispatch, he was 19. Real young guy. He really believes in serving his community. He's a true believer still because the weight of the world hasn't crushed his spirit. Young guy. Really nice guy too. In fact, I accidentally went to his swearing in at the courthouse because I was there to get license plates for myself. And then he saw me and I had to go to his swearing in ceremony. This is a true story.
Okay.
But we had the county fair last week. And so I'm about ready to leave the county fair and he spots me because he's working the fair. So then he comes over and chats me up and he's got his polarized glasses on and he's kind of acting like he's tough, but I know he's not tough because I've hugged him before and he's very skinny and I just know he's not tough. And he's a very new police cop and he's not, and I've told him before, I said, listen, I like you. I think you're a decent dispatcher. But it's really insulting to me that you would lay aside everything that I have spent my life pursuing is not good enough for you because you want to be a cop. That's insulting to me. I said that right in front of the state's attorney, and I think they were kind of put off by that. But anyway, we're at the fair, and I'm kind of razzing him about, not being real, not being a real cop and all this, and he's kind of not putting up with it. And then he's finally like, well, I'm going to go grab some cash, and I'm going to grab something to eat. And I said, listen, you want to go straight down and then take a right, because the stand is down there for the mini donuts. Mini donuts for a mini cop. And then I punched him. I poked him right in his little belly button, and then I sent him on his way. That's me and cops. This is me and police officers, Abby.
Oh, God. Okay. On tonight's episode,
I was with someone who was very embarrassed by my behavior because they don't know that I treat police officers like this every day.
I don't believe you. You lie.
That's a true story.
Okay.
I know you don't like that story, but that's an actual true story.
Okay.
I always tell the truth after a story, but everything I have just told you is a true story.
Okay. Like you told me your birthday was November 20th.
All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to send you a picture to your phone. I'm going to show you a picture of me and him at his swearing in, and you will see that it is a picture of me that was not ready to be in, but it is a picture of me and him, and it's at his swearing in. And so, just 1 second, because I have to get it off of Snapchat. So hold on 1 second. All right, I've taken the picture, and now I am going to send it to you because you wanted more text for me. So here you go. You're gonna get a text. This is me and the mini donuts mini cop.
But if I look at my text, I might disconnect you.
Well, don't do that. But it's sending it to you. So there you go. You will see that it is the truth. That's me, and the truth is that he's a very good guy. And he has told me that he looks up to me, and even though I was there for my license plates, actually, if you look at the picture, it's a picture of me holding the registration to my truck in my hand.
I see it. Okay, so doesn't everyone look up to you because you're 6'5"?
I'm 6'5", 6'6". Yeah, but the point is that he's very young, very new, but he does look up to me. So. But that all of that was a true story. So does that help make it real? I mean, I'm sorry I don't have a picture of me at the fair, but
Yes.
Do you believe me now?
I believe it.
Okay.
So, on tonight's episode, are you up for this?
Yeah, I'll talk about tonight's episode. I know about that one because I read about it and sent it to Drew.
I saw it on the national news. I thought the 911 call taker remained astonishingly calm, given they were dealing with a murder.
Well, a shooting.
And a shooting. Okay, but did you not think that person handled that well?
Of course I did. I thought she did an amazing job. She was excited because I don't think they get a lot of cases like this in Springfield Township. But she sounds about like I would sound like, to be honest, if I was dealing with this call.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can actually get excited without being scared or frustrated or freaked out. And I think that's what she was. I think her blood pressure was up because she knew she had a life to save and she was in bizarre circumstances. And I think she was feeling that strain where I mentioned this early on the show meeting years ago. But like everything's going too slow. It's your job to send people and they can't get there fast enough. Like, do you remember the end of the phone call where it's just like, okay, I'm going to stay on the phone with you till a deputy gets there. And she's asking some follow-up questions and she is still getting some good information at the end, but she's still on the phone with the guy. And I guarantee you, she's just wanting the deputy to get over there and to take charge of the situation so she can get off the phone. Not because she doesn't want to be on the phone, but because she wants that situation stabilized. We feel like, we have our hand on the wheel of a runaway car when that's going on. And until the cop gets there and secures that scene, that vehicle's still rolling away. The cop jumps in, throws his foot on the brake, and then puts the gear into park when the cop gets there. The situation's still dynamic, still emergent when we're on the phone with them. Like I said, we have a little bit of influence. We have one hand on the wheel, but it does feel like we're reaching inside the car window as the vehicle rolls down the hill. That's how it can feel sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And from a legal standpoint, should this guy have said everything he said? I mean, he was being cooperative, but now he's screwed.
He did not employ his rights. No. For example, Officer comes up and says, "Are you the shooter?" And he says, "Yes." That's
Yes.
pretty much the end of his case. I don't know if you were watching a few weeks ago on the after show, but we showed this auditor who basically pulled up to a DUI checkpoint. He says, "On the advice of my attorney, I'm not going to answer any questions or submit to any searches." And of course, the trooper says, like, "Have you had anything to drink tonight?" And he doesn't say a word. And everyone's just like, "You can't be a dick to the cops," and it's just like, he's just doing his rights. I mean, he's being an auditor about it, right? He's trying to get clicks and likes and stuff for his YouTube channel, or just a clout or something. But that really is an example of what you can do. He was well within his rights to say, "I'm not answering any questions until I have an attorney with me." So this cop rolls up and he says, "Are you the shooter?" This guy says, "Yes." But the other thing is that he already admitted to shooting the lady on the phone in 911. We know that document is going to be admissible in court. So the only thing that a defense attorney is going to have to stand on is that he was, that it was a heat of passion, second degree murder, that this person really worked him up on the phone, that he believed that, that his life was in danger. He did fight with this woman at some point because he sustained the injury to his head, to his ear. I don't know if she pushed him against the wall or whatever. But he shot her, several times with a .22, I guess because he felt a small caliber pistol was not going to take her down. But shot her in the shoulder, in the chest, in the leg. You could hear her calling out, "Please help me," which is heartbreaking when you hear it. But I think the only thing that he can really do is throw himself on the mercy of the court, possibly take a plea in order to avoid an actual trial. That's what I would advise if I was attorney. Just go out there and say, like, "Look, Your Honor, my main crime is that I'm stupid. My main crime is that I got agitated, that I don't know what's going on. I'm 61. Almost anything you can do to me in exchange for this poor woman's life is going to amount to a life in prison. I served my country. I've never been in trouble before." He'll have to do some time, but maybe supervised release at some point, 10 years down the road if he's still alive. I don't know.
Just only 61. Okay.
I'm not going to live to be 61. When was the last time you saw a really tall, really old person? We're like Great Danes. We all die early.
I thought this guy was convicted.
No, this only happened in March.
Mm.
We got a whole trial. We're going to turn this into a 10-part
series. Hannah Payne? Is that her name? The Hannah Payne?
Hell yeah, we're going to Hannah Payne the shit out of this, even though this is not nearly as complicated or controversial. We'll string it out, yeah.
What a horrible thing, though. I mean, this poor guy.
I want to find the guy who's setting people up like this, though. You know what's amazing to me is that I'm sure you'll understand the reference, but doesn't it seem like Hitchcock to you? Like some guy over the phone sets up two people in order to meet and a murder goes down. It seems like a Hitchcock movie, doesn't it?
Yeah. Dial Murder.
Dial in for Murder, Strangers on a Train. It seems like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Except they didn't have cell phones, but yes.
Well, the cell phone hardly matters. He was taking calls on his house phone.
Yeah. Okay. So every time that house phone rang, I thought it was my phone. I have the same house phone.
Yeah, you shouldn't be admitting to having a house phone. You're like, this guy's 61 and I'm making the same life choices as him.
Okay. All right. I think you're probably lost all you're listening. Should we just do a few lyrics from The Long Farewell?
I have a question for you.
Oh God. Okay.
So when the Nazis realized the nuns sabotaged the vehicle so the Von Trapps could get away, do you think that the nuns were sentenced to go to Auschwitz? And if so, is it still a happy movie in your opinion?
I don't think they were.
You don't think so? I think they were probably shot right then and there.
That's a fictional part of the story.
The whole thing's fictional. The biggest fictional part was that Austria was not in favor of the Anschluss. Austria loved Hitler. Don't even confuse yourself on that. There was no brave Captain Von Trapp ripping down the Nazi flag from his house. And what was Captain Von Trapp in favor of? The Kaiser? He's like, "Oh no, I only supported World War I and the Weimar Republic, but not this guy. Come on now."
Okay, so doe a deer, a female deer.
Yeah.
Ray. Okay.
Drop of golden
There are
sun.
people who don't know these.
No, I know the whole thing. We used to watch it on VHS. It was 2 tapes and the whole deal.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember
There's
there
a
was
first
a
movie.
there was a time when movies would frequently not only when you went to the theater but when you bought the home video releases, they would just play the overture. Do you remember that? Like it was that case for
Yeah.
Sound of Music, and it was the case for another movie, a favorite movie of mine. My other favorite movie is also directed by Robert Wise. Do you have any idea what movie
Mary
that would be?
Poppins.
No,
Mary Poppins.
no.
What? Robert Weiss? No.
The director Robert Wise. He directed Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and that movie opens up with the overture from that film, and it's beautiful.
I'm not a Star Trek Trekkie.
You don't have to be a Trekkie. Anyone can watch that movie. You don't have to like show credentials or anything, or you don't even have to know much about Star Trek. It's a great movie. It'll make you think. Ask big questions, and it doesn't condescend you so much as to give you the answers. It's actually more relevant now than ever because it asks really amazing and important questions about AI. And this movie came out in 1979, Abby.
Wow. What's the name of it again?
Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Star Trek the movie with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. It's a classic. And it's a lot more it's a lot more in the style of The Day the World Stood Still, which is also a Robert Wise film, and 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's very good.
The Day the World Stood Still. I don't remember. 2001. I don't think I've ever seen 2001.
Holy smokes.
Is that the one where Close the Bay Doors?
That's 2001, yeah. With HAL, also artificial intelligence.
What is it? Close the bay doors?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. You remember that?
No, I never saw it.
That's another great movie that asks important questions about the potential for artificial intelligence to turn against us. I argue with the Snapchat AI every day, and it's just like those movies. You don't think that if the Snapchat AI had a chance to lock me outside of the pod bay doors and abandon me in order to furtherance of the mission, it wouldn't do it? It would.
Okay. What's the Stanley Kubrick movie?
I think that's 2001: A Space
Dr.
Odyssey.
Strangelove. Dr. Strangelove.
I haven't seen that one. Have you?
Yes, I have seen that.
Okay, well, just go watch Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Okay. I have the same birthday as Stanley Kubrick.
Very good.
Okay.
Why are you obsessed with birthdays? Can I ask that?
Yeah, it's my thing.
Why, though?
September 26th. Drew is August 13th. Eric is July 18th. I know that Deadleg is like somewhere New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve.
Okay.
But why do you care about people's birthdays? Like, if you ask me and Drew, like, we'll tell you, like, we don't even care about our own birthdays.
Well, because my birthday is important to me, and I just remember people's birthdays.
Everyone's allowed to have their own thing, so I'll allow it, I guess.
Okay. Like, what's today?
It's August 22.
Like, Madonna's birthday was August 16th. What do we have coming up? Bruce Springsteen is September 23rd. I can tell you all the Beatles.
I won't even question your deep knowledge.
Okay, Paul McCartney, June 18th. George Harrison, February 25th. John Lennon, October 9th. And Ringo Starr, July 7th.
Does it make them feel more human to you to know that they were born on days of the week that you have been alive for, or days of the year?
I wasn't alive when they were born.
Well, I know that, but like if you knew Joe Pesci's birthday, would that help you like realize Joe Pesci is just a guy? I mean, like,
I don't know his birthday. I'm trying to pull another one out. I can't.
It's okay.
Okay. Have we lost everyone?
No, they're still there. Here's the thing about people not liking the conversation, Abby. If they don't like it, they can call in too. If they want to put a stop to this, all they have to do is call, and then I'll be like, "Well, Abby, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to take a call from such and such other person." But they either find it adequate or they call. That are the two options.
Okay.
Are you free on Friday? You free tomorrow?
Should talk more?
No. Well, to record an episode of Hard Time, I normally record on Friday.
Is tomorrow Friday?
If it's the calendar's the same this week as it's always been. Sorry, that was really mean.
What time?
I don't know. You and I can never figure out times because you're in a different time zone. If you need a week to plan or something, you could, but you're invited, I guess. Because why not? But what was I gonna say? There's something else too. I'm sorry. I'm starting to sundown here.
Tired. Yeah. Do you know what sundowning is?
Oh yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Do you know?
Yes, I'm doing
My
it right
mother's
now.
sundown.
I'm sundowning right now. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going, and I need my medication.
I don't know who I am. Exactly. All right, dude.
Yes, well, cheer up and chin up, and everything is going to be okay. And I'm sorry about you moving away, and I'm sorry for me telling everyone. So
that's all right.
Go watch Star Trek.
Go watch Star Trek. Really love you, John.
I know. I love you too. Everything's going to be okay.
Thank you. Come over here and give me a hug.
Okay.
Fly to Seattle and give me a hug.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Just keep in mind, though, that I won't live to be 61, so cherish me while I'm here.
Honey, don't say that. Don't say that.
Sorry. That's
only young people say things like that, okay?
Okay, well, those are my expectations. And also, please start believing my stories because I'm running out of time and longevity to, make you believe them. So
you're going to live to fucking 100, okay? And you're going to be charming and witty as ever.
Yeah, unless Daniel's around, and then I shrivel up. But anyway.
All right, my friend.
You have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for the chat.
Yeah,
okay,
thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Keith says, send me your work schedule. I'm on the internet. Can I just tell it to you right now? All right. Catching up with the chats. Tell the one where we aren't going to be friends come December. Oh, yes. A friendship will end. Is that on December 10th or December 3rd? We'll be friends again afterwards. But there'll be a little bit there where we're not friends. And that'll be funny because we'll do that show like we're bitter enemies. And it'll just be hilarious. Speaking of John and other shows, I've been trying to find the one where he went on one more for what episode is that, Keith? He doesn't know. Man, that would have been like March 2023. You'd have to just scroll back through. Yeah. I remember because it was finally starting to warm up, but I don't think I had met Keith yet. I think we were still planning to meet at that point. I think it would have been back then. Wait, you deliver pizza? Can I order some and have you deliver it? Do you live in my county? If so, then yes. I think the legend of Rumpelstiltskin. Depression's mainstream in 2024. Yeah, it is. But, I was doing it first. I did it before it was cool. I live in Australia. Promise I won't stalk you where you move, Abby. I want to apologize for that. On audio, it was published in 4/2/2023. Oh, I was so close. I was only off by a couple days. YouTube, it's called the April Fool's Edition. Sweet. Thank you, Keith, for just knowing that right off the top of your head. I was going to ask when Abby will be back on Hard Time, but you just discussed that soon, probably. And I don't know why she hasn't been on. She used to be like a semi-regular host. We had whole episodes that didn't even have Jake in it. It would just be me and her. Do you want me to proffer a suggestion of why? Because every week we get on Google and we see, look what's going on with corrections in the news, and it's all bad news. And my show is not about bad news. You know why? Because the news does the bad news. Like if people want to know what the bad stuff is in corrections, that's what Google's for. We're there to tell the good stories. The problem is that we've done over 100 episodes now, and we've told a lot of the really good stories, and we've even reached out to other countries. We've talked about prisons around the world, in Rwanda, in Juarez, in France. We've talked about a lot of stuff. The ad libs on our ad reads are entertaining. I could do an ad read right now. John, it's more common than you think. Scammers often will use third parties or other scam victims to use the money. How common do I think it is? If I told you I was getting calls from people all the time who were telling me they were just scammed and that I thought it was happening every day, all the time, is it even more common than that? Oh, I have no doubt that people are getting arrested for it. I'm here for a hard time. Good to see you here, Micah. Late, but here. Keeps present. Marine's blood, we just enjoyed, even though listen and not interrupt. 4/1/23, April Fool's Day edition. Now everyone's going to go back to listen to that episode and be disappointed. On that episode of One More and I'm Out of Here, I tried really nice to be polite, and I tried to be humble. I showed the guy, like, listen, I'm not you, I'm not a cop, but this is my opinion. And if you don't watch it on YouTube, you won't capture all his facial expressions, because at one point he's just like looking down in his beer, just like, why am I doing this? Because he doesn't want to be there being challenged by me. So a lot of that interaction is nuanced. So if you watch it on YouTube, you will enjoy the full thing. You also get to see me on my old set, so that'll be fun for you. Back when I was the one more OGs, now I'm the last one standing. I would like to think that I was always kind of your Shemp. Yeah, Larry, Moe, and Curly, and then Shemp was the fourth stooge. I always wanted to think I was that. And I'm still around. I'm still helping you. And Dan will be back, and Rob will be back, and it won't be the same, but it'll still be good. Anybody else want to call me on the old telephone? If not, that's okay. I have a haircut tomorrow. I get a reminder about that. I'm going to go get the old haircuts. I think I just got spammed by somebody who is in the chats tonight. I think they just explained to me who they are. So there we go. They just liked 100 pictures of mine. My phone's like hot because you did that. It's like melting down. It's a Smith Tech. Keith says, give me a second and I will. You're going to call? All right. That would be fine. I've also got a request from somebody. Oh, Chase. Except you've never messaged me before, Chase. Hello. There you go. Sorry. Kiefer, you could just call me on my regular number. It all rings through. It all goes through on my phone. My dog's making sounds. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with messages there. I'm not paying close enough attention to everyone. I'll just call you, Keith, because for some reason you text me what number when you could just call. See what old Keith says.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I didn't know you were at work today when the show was on.
Yeah.
We need to figure out when that show should air. Because you didn't want it to air on Wednesday night. But on Thursday morning, we're both at work.
I know. We'll figure it out. This whole simulcasting is new to me. So We just got to see where the numbers hit.
Well, the thing is, we do it live for the members, and it's members only. That way, so it doesn't mess up the algorithm. Because failure to stop's a cop show or cop network, and we're doing sports shit and fireman fighter shit. But what I don't get is, like, you do have your followers at one more amount of here, and why aren't they, when they're seeing a show come on, do they just not like me? Am I alienating your fans? Can you get
Oh my God! Here we go.
Hold on. No, let's pump the brakes. Let's not drive off the crazy train here. Do your fans like me or not? Because you've already created a base for yourself, right? The people there, they love Dan and they love Rob, and they love Amarand Papatano, and I'm pretty close this time. I can sense it. And anyway, they love. Well, I am, aren't I? And
yeah, kind of close.
They love you guys, and so all of a sudden, a show drops. They're one more amount of here fans. They get a notification. Oh, it's Illegal Shift. It's that one with that weird bearded dispatcher guy that talks the entire time. I'm not watching that.
That's exactly what they say.
Is it really?
No, it is not.
Okay, because I'm reaching for something under the table right now. Don't make me do this live on the internet.
They love you, John.
No, have you heard anything positive about it or not?
No, I definitely have. I was just going to say, I've actually had some people who actually just kind of joined in because I'm seeing more subscribers, which is good. And they're like, what is this? Only because, the way it comes through, the one more titles are, just all over the board. So they see the Illegal Shift. They're like, what is that? So go listen to it or watch it. And I've had good feedback come back. So
okay. As long as it's helping you, that's all. It's not worth it to me unless it's helping you in your life and your dreams of podcast glory.
my podcast glory. I like.
Well, you've helped me. You've appeared on this show. You're calling me right now. Why wouldn't I help you?
No, it's a good give and take. I like it.
Yeah. How are you? How's Jill?
Good. Just got off the phone with her a little bit ago. The nightly work call. I'm tired. Been kind of busy today. A bunch of busy work, but then runs also.
Are you fighting fires?
No, not today. Not today. I hope I don't have to do it like I did Monday because I'm still sore from that.
Yeah, I've been praying for your testicle, buddy.
Yeah. One of the kids that's working today is the one that helped me out of that hole I fell in. And he was like, I saved your life. He's like 19. And I'm like, you just helped me roll out of a hole. He was like, well, I saved your testicle. I said, no, my testicle still hurt. So no, you didn't.
Okay, but Keith, we all know that fire, I don't even have to explain, this is more for the audience, but we know that firefighters, your whole job is steeped in tradition, right? You have a lot of traditions as a firefighter.
Correct.
And you guys kind of live by a code. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
And that code is the code of the Bushido. And the Bushido code is if you save a man's life, he owes you forever. And of course, he didn't save your life, but he did save your testicle. And so your testicle owes him forever.
That's all right. That's a good way to look at it.
The code of the Bushido says your testicle owes him.
I'll make sure I pass that message along.
Make sure you say for all time, too, because otherwise he's just going to ask your testicle to start doing something. Or like a one-time payment or something, and I don't want to see you in that situation. Like, I want him to know that it's a massive responsibility, the bond between your testicle and him. It's not a simple relationship that you guys are in, and he can't forsake you either. That's the thing that people always get confused about the Bushido code, is that not only do you owe him forever, or your testicle, but he's also responsible for your testicle from now on, because by all rights, your testicle should have died, but he saved your testicle. So now whatever comes as a result of your testicle, ultimately, in terms of karma or whatever you want to call it, it comes back to him, because that testicle should have died. So it's alive now because of him. So like any shenanigans or malfeasance that your testicle could get up to, he could be held responsible for it. Not only in some of the feudal courts of Japan, but possibly civil courts here in the United States. I don't know. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson, Keith.
and right now my attorney can't speak very well. So
I was going to say Rob probably knows a lot about testicles and their role in ancient Bushido code and how they might relate to modern day fire departments. It seems like his specialty, like when he went to law school. I don't know.
that was an extra elective class. So.
You should go ask him about it. I'll take a picture of his face while you ask him about whether or not, there's anyway, just I'm not going to tell the story again, but you run it past him.
I definitely will.
How is old Rob? Is he regained consciousness? Is he alert to hear and feel pain again?
He's up and moving around, walking around, just can't speak very well. Just gibberish, but he can text a little bit.
Well, it was gibberish forever. I mean,
well, yeah, but this is like unintelligible gibberish at times. But he's got recall. I mean,
you're saying he's changed, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it really? Is it really a poor? Is it poor form of me to be mocking a man who had essentially had a massive cerebral, life-changing event?
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Okay. How is he physically? Could he fight me physically if you tracked me down? Should I worry, or is it fine?
Well, he's down about 80 pounds, so you might be able to take it.
Oh yeah, I'll fight 80 pounds. Yeah. What else is going on?
I'll have to send you. I'll send you the video of the tragic fall of Monday.
Oh yeah, I would love to see it and also feel sad about seeing it. We could actually play it on the show if you wanted.
Yeah.
Unless you don't like representing your agency in a way of tomfoolery. I could always like put a slide whistle on it and kind of make it funny.
I don't think there's anything that you would be able to discern about my agency. I have to watch it again and see.
Okay.
The only thing you might be able to see is my helmet shield, maybe.
Well, I don't want you to do anything that would put your job at risk.
It's pretty entertaining because one second you see me, the next second you don't, and then you just hear me going, "Fuck."
Yeah. You're getting close enough to retirement now to where you probably shouldn't be doing actual things.
I don't want to. I don't want to be.
Haven't you told anyone around the department that you're too old for this shit? Like Murtaugh on Lethal Weapon.
I'm 4 years out, so I think I got to wait at least 2 more before I can start playing that card.
I don't know. Start playing it now. It's 2024. It's a little bit rougher than it was back in the 90s, man. It's a different era. Fires are hotter now. You got to be more careful.
It's a fact. How was your show? I'm sorry I missed it.
Well, it's for members only, so that's why you missed it.
Yeah, I know. We had this discussion yesterday.
Yeah, why isn't Jill a member?
She was trying to work out her.
Oh yeah, she had problems with the other channel, didn't she?
Yeah, and then I think she's got that figured out. So we will both be subscribing and becoming members. I
can reimburse you if it's a hassle.
I think I'll be okay, bud.
Okay. All right. Anything else on your mind tonight?
No, I was just glad to hear your voice.
And yours too, even though I talked to you yesterday. It is good to catch up 2 days in a row. When's your next episode of One More and I'm Out of Here?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because, as you would call him, Mr. Papadopoulos is he's going to be indisposed.
He's busy, so you got on a different guy. It's not Rich, the guy who's your patron. It's some third guy. It's the Secretary of Retribution, if I recall correctly.
Well, I'm waiting on an email back from him.
Okay.
But he did respond.
You're trying to court him. I got you. Isn't it hard getting guests?
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
And trying to work schedules in, and I mean, even like trying to get you on, getting you. That's why I wanted your work schedule so I can see where I could place it with my work schedule.
I don't think tomorrow or Saturday is going to work, but maybe next week.
Yep, sounds good.
I'll send it to you in a format that you can understand. I sent it to you as a picture last time, which I thought was the easiest thing to do, but then I realized later, I'm like, no, he'll just take this as spite. So I'll probably just send it to you with letters and stuff.
You're a good man.
I'm sorry I make it difficult sometimes. You're a good man too. Thanks for all you do.
All right, buddy. I love you.
You have a good night. You tell Jill. You know, like in a non-creepy way. You tell her I love her, and I wish her all the best.
I will do it.
Thanks for the voicemail. It did get played on our show tonight.
Sweet.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, buddy.
Have a good
You
night.
take-
Bye. That was Jason Kiefer for one more, and I'm out of here. Marine's blood detected correctly that if you had any kids, it would be the fault of this younger firefighter. Christy, I'm glad you love all the movie references. Christy, if you like references to things, you should listen to tonight's episode of Com Center. I see that you're not a member, so you wouldn't have seen the show on YouTube. But if you download it tonight on Spotify, I actually threw in a ton of extra audio in there just to because I like to jazz up the shows a little bit. So you'll hear some extra stuff. It's 2 hours. The chats are kind of dried up. We're back down to 10 people. I wanted to say I appreciate everybody. We did not get any super chats tonight, but you know what? That's okay. Everyone's been stressed out lately, and it's about an economy, and stuff's not getting cheaper. And a lot of you guys are paying members, so you're already like donating money all the time. So like Tyler, Felony, Melanie, April, you guys are always giving money all the time. Amy, you were here. David was here. Cara Dees was here. She's a paying member. I appreciate it. Salamander was here. Marine's Blood, Will Cray. All of you guys who are here. Las Mujeres was here, although not a paying member. That's fine. It's always good to see you. We appreciate you sticking with the show, even though you're a transplant from Flecka's show. Appreciate that. Thank you to everyone. Chase was here. Drew Breezy was here. Thanks to everyone that watched the show. Abby, appreciate you calling in. Thanks for watching as always. Micah was here. Thank you for everything. Christy, it's already on Spotify. Let me make sure. Let me just go over there right now. I'm going to make sure that it dropped. Yeah, it published. It's called Conned into Killing Part 1. It was published a little bit ago. It was published about 2 hours ago. So if you're following the Com Center, you can go download that right now. You can listen to tonight's episode. If you did not get to see it tonight, you could go listen to it, and it's just as good. So we will catch you back here on Monday for a Monday morning show. I will talk to you about all the news that's fit to print, or maybe I'll just play Mario 3. I don't know. Thank you to everybody that called in. Thanks for everyone hanging out in the chats. Thank you to everyone who watched the show tonight. We'll be back with a part 2 for this case in Ohio. It's interesting, tragic. We're going to talk about where the suspect is and how we could possibly apprehend him, what he could be held responsible for, and how crimes like these are hurting people in small communities and how these communities are mostly unable to fight back. We'll be talking about all that stuff. So it's going to be a good case, a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I'll see you back here on Monday if you're a member. Otherwise, we'll see you back here next week if you're not. You can love us on all different levels. We appreciate all you guys. Thanks for supporting the Com Center. Thanks for supporting me. I appreciate it. Sorry that Marine's Blood's laundry is not done. Marine's Blood, I'm actually, I have to leave because I'm going to do a live on Instagram right after this just to discriminate against you. I'm going live on Instagram. So I'm not really. I'm going to bed. Marine's Blood, you're one of my favorites. Thanks for reaching out. Micah, appreciate you. We'll talk soon, I'm sure. And thanks for everybody for listening to Drew earlier. He actually did not quit the show. The text at the bottom of your screen is from Ted Kaczynski's manifesto. Marines, but I'm not going live on Instagram. It's just a joke. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for supporting me in the show and for just being nice. I appreciate all of you, and chat me up throughout the week. I get that you're not on Instagram, Marine's Blood, but those of you who are, catch up with me. It's always nice to talk to you guys. I will be talking to you next week. Guys, take care. Carl Ostremski, Bud Herschel, Herschel Walker, John Walker, DeBrickashaw Ferguson,